Okay. There. Okay. Am I recording? I think so. Hold on. Pause.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
says record. Yeah.
perfect. Because it used to be somewhere else, so that's why I'm all like, what? Okay. They are. So when you order, oh, I guess I should say like hi and welcome everyone. Hi,
Mm.
welcome everyone. And today we're gonna talk about meal planning for Liift4. Yay. Okay. So you'll get this in the mail if you haven't gotten it yet. But this is the meal planning book, or it just says program and nutrition guide. I call it meal planning book. So in here, so I'll pull it up on the screen so everyone can see. Ugh. Okay. There you go. It's going slowly. So when you get your Liift4, you'll have the workout list. All of week 1 is available now. And my friend's texting me and it comes up on my phone. I don't know, on my computer. I don't know how to stop it. So I'm going to hide it in case she says something inappropriate. Okay, so you'll see the introduction to nutrition. Just highly recommend everyone watching it. And these are the before Liift4 workouts. So some of you may have not done them this week, so feel free to do them next week if that's where you guys want to start. It's okay. And then we have some videos called Ready for Lift Off, like week one countdown, and Ready for Lift week 1. And I think they have a how to lift for, so that's just instructions on how to properly lift, which I have to watch, so I haven't watched that yet. And then the week 1 workouts are already available. Under there, you'll see program materials. So there you get your workout calendar. You also get that in the mail. It's over there on my desk, so I haven't grabbed it yet. You get, so I'll just open that really quick so you see it. So here you go. So this is the calendar for the 8 weeks. It tells you what workouts to do, and every week these are going to get released, and they'll stay on your back office. They're just doing a weekly release because they think it's fun or something. I don't know. It's true. And then you have your nutrition plans. You have the regular, and then you have the vegan. If you're vegan or you want to be more of a vegan option, you could get that. They also have playlists on Spotify that you could use because the workouts still have music. So it's kind of fun to have that in the background if you can. And then if you decide that you want to be Canadian or speak only Spanish, you get French and Spanish languages. Because Beachbody is in, well, they have Spanish because of the big Latin community, and then we're in Canada, so we have the French version. Okay, so let's go to the program and nutrition guide, and let's talk about the meal thing, the meal plan, the meal thing. Okay, so that is in the book here. It is page, oh shoot, I have to pick that up. Someone else will. It is page, where is it? Where am I going? To figure out your meal calories, it's page 6 and 7. Hold on, my dog's gonna get that pen and eat it. No. Okay. So page 6 and 7 gives you, like, based on how much you weigh, what calorie bracket it falls into. So I'm just trying to find it here. Okay, so this is just page 6. So this is the calorie bracket. So and then there's another page in here that says, okay, I think it's the next page, which is this page. So if you're looking at this, like for example, me, I'm getting put into plan A. I hate plan A. It doesn't provide enough food for me. I'm always hungry. So I'm probably not going to do plan A. So if you have, if you want to build muscle, or you're kind of in maintenance mode, or you only really have about 10 pounds to lose, it's preferably that you look at this muscle building one. And what they say is, if you want to, so say for example, right now I'm being told that I need to be in here for weight loss, and I know for a fact that that is too little food for me, just how my life is. I'm pretty active. I don't sleep a lot. I'm awake a lot of hours. That's not going to be enough for me. I'm always hungry. So what the recommendation was is to jump 2 plans. And if that scares you, just jump 1 plan. But for me, I'm going to give this plan C a go for a few weeks, just to see how it goes. And yeah, it is a little scary. It's a lot of calories, but then I have to think about it too. Like when I was in Japan, I was probably like plan Z, just like 6,000 calories a day. I didn't care. So why am I stressing over plan C when I'm eating healthy food all the time? You know, so I'm gonna give it a go because I do want to build muscle, even though I have like about 15 pounds. I'm not sure if it's 15 pounds of fat or there's a combination of muscle in there. I'm gonna go with Plan C because I just know eating too little is just gonna get me hungry, especially the way these workouts are. I'm just gonna be starving and end up overeating or binging on something that I shouldn't. So, and if I feel that that's too much food, I could always take it down. Like you could always change it. So don't feel like you're stuck in that forever. Like my recommendation is give it 2 weeks and go from there. So any questions on that?
Not for me, no.
Okay. So just like our other programs, you'll see that you're allotted a certain amount of vegetables, fruits, proteins, carbohydrates, healthy fats, and your orange, which is your seeds and dressings, and oils. Also, if you're doing the performance line, it tells you which ones to do, and these you only take on the days you work out. The bigger, so see how Plan C has this creatine. I'm not taking that, but if for those of you that are looking for serious muscle gain, the creatine isn't part of the meal plan until Plan C, but everything else is.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Why is it 2? Do I need to have like 2 scoops? I might have 2 scoops of that. I'm sensitive to pre-workout. I like the Energize because it's not crazy, but I think 2 workouts would be slightly too much for me personally. So here's the example of your serious building on the muscle. If you plan on, like, it just gives you an example. If you fall on Plan B, you would bump up to D. So my friend keeps texting me. Good thing I'm covering it. Girl, she's like sending me 5 messages in a minute. I'm like, calm down. I told her I was on a call too. So it says here, if it's telling me to fall on Plan B, go to Plan D. Again, if it's too big of a jump, just go up 1 plan and see how that works for you. And this is an 8-week program. It is a process of understanding everyone's body is different. It kind of just generalizes where we should be, but it doesn't take into account, maybe our metabolism, genetics, and all that. So
Okay.
it's different for everyone. Okay, so here's just an example of what a Plan B looks like. So if you were doing Plan B, how you would kind of have your meals plan. There, we don't have like a strict, like this is the plan, like you have to have these specific carbs and proteins at this specific time. But for me, I always like looking at this because it gives me a general idea. What I usually do is write it down and take it to note. Like, okay, I have my Shakeology in the morning. Oh, well, look, I'm gonna have a burrito at night. I get excited when I see it. But if you get into a consideration, but then I also start thinking, okay, what can I, like if I look at the lunch, for example, like what can I have at lunch that's maybe, this is like a quinoa ground turkey bowl, but maybe I could do like a wrap, like a whole wheat wrap with chicken or shrimp, ground turkey, even turkey breast, and then veggies. I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna do like a bunch of carrots.
Okay.
I don't want to cook. I'm just gonna chop up raw carrots and eat raw carrots or celery or cucumbers, like something like that. Because this one seems a little too much, like cauliflower and butternut squash and olive oil. I'm like, that's a little too much for me. And then my teaspoons of oils and nut butters. If I go to that file, I'll be like, okay, I need something that has that. I could either be just really weird and just get a scoop of peanut butter, or I think mayo's on that list. Let me just double check. It was on like another program, but sometimes I will go through the list. I could go. let's see. Oil is, but mayo's not on that list, so I'm just gonna grab. I'll just put like, I'll just put extra olive oil on something. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, like in the chicken, or I'll just grab a scoop of peanut butter to make sure that I get. Or I mean, I can move it around and have that oil with with my shake in the morning, like the peanut butter, because you can move this around. This is just suggested, so I could be like, I'm not going to use any oil here, but I'm having my Shakeology in the morning, and I like that with peanut butter, so I'm going to do peanut butter. And then see how here's like the seasoned dressing. I'm like, well, if say for example I want this veggies to be a salad, I'm like, well, I'm just going to move that here because I want to have my salad. So you could start moving those things around. And what I always do is have it like, I write it down and then I start like having another page. Like I always have like my little notebooks. I'm actually running out of these. I got this yesterday. It's all new. One of the recommendations I have, so I'm going to go to another program so I can show you guys like to get other ideas. But one of the recommendations I have is, if you look at your life every day, you probably basically the similar things for breakfast and lunch. So I would just keep it simple and try to just stick to, for me, for breakfast, I eat the same thing. So like, it's very easy for me to stick with it. I might alter it a little bit. Like instead of beans, I'll have toast, I'll have oatmeal, like I'll alternate like a carb that's quick and easy for me to do. And same with my lunch. Like I may just do like a base that is, I cook a lot of turkey, like ground turkey. I'll cook a lot of that. That helps me because I was noticing when I did like chicken, it would dry out and I didn't like the flavor and I wouldn't eat the chicken. So at least with turkey, it doesn't dry out. You could have it different ways, like in a salad, in a wrap. So that became really easy for me. And I'll share, at the end of this video, I'll share what I normally buy and what I do with all these stuff. Cause I buy just like I keep it very simple. I have like a base of like vegetables and meats that I usually eat. And then I just kind of assemble them because I don't like cooking. So not that I don't like cooking. It's more of a chore for me.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it's a chore. And so there's always like, it's like a time thing. Like when I actually do cook, like there's a few things that I like it here and there. But for me, I feel like it's like a chore. Okay, so if you want more ideas on how to like set your meals, one of my favorite ones to go to is Shift Shop. I just think they had a really good layout of a meal sample. You do have to be oops, wrong one. I just got out of there. Something else. Okay, let's go back. Shift Shop. So I'm just taking you guys through, and you could go through all the programs. They have like the similar tracking with the containers so that you could see here. I'm like, where's the nutrition? Here it is. I just saw it this morning. Okay. So Shift Shop has, I think, well, out of all the Beachbody programs, has like the best recipes, and they were easy to make. Like I did some of these, so I would pull these two to look at and see. And they give you the containers, and they also give you the calories. So, if you decide later on in the future you're not going to use containers anymore, you can do calories. But the samples that they have, the recipes they had are really good. And they give you like, for this one, it's like perfect, this chickpea chicken curry thing. Like I might want to do that one. So has, I think, the best recipes from all the programs that I had experience with the Beachbody. Has my favorite recipes on there. So if we go to the nutrition guide, one thing with them, now we have to be careful because it's a different program, so it sometimes has different requirements. So Shift Shop was one that every week, when we were so for example, if we were in plan A, our veggies would go up and our carbs were going down because it was a 3-week like shred program. So you just have to be careful with that. And then one thing I noticed too, since I'm doing like plan C, I noticed there was a difference between my veggies and fruits. I actually have less veggies and fruits in our program versus this one, which is fine. You just have to take a note of it when you look at the examples that they lay out. And one thing I like about the shift shop is, let me scroll. It's not scrolling fast enough. Faster. Yeah. They gave us, when we did this program, a sample, like really just laid out what we needed to eat, which I really, really liked. So you could use this again as an example of how to structure. You find your meal plan, make sure that the right combination of veggies and carbs, because I just did tell you it's a little off, is there. So adjust it to your need. And you could use this as an example, and they give you like 2 examples, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Like they gave you that. And they give a little grocery list too. So those are some of my favorite ones. Also, let's see. Last time I checked Insanity Max, I don't know what was wrong. They had a good little layout too. So let me see if they still have it. Okay, Insanity Max 30 was another one, but let's see if they have it. Last time I checked, I didn't see the meal guide. Oh, here it is. It's because it's minimized, and I thought I didn't have it.
Okay.
So on their nutrition guide, if we go towards the end, I believe 124. I don't remember it being that long. I don't remember it being that long. I remember it has it. This is like, oh, it's like they updated it. Okay. Oh, I know, because it has a takeout one. This was separate one. Okay, so I had the actual like books on this, and so they took this takeout stuff was separate. Oh, but it gives little good examples, like if you're going to Mexican, try this, skip this. Menudo en pozole, it's like my favorite.
That's cool though. Those tips, yeah.
Yeah, so you could use other programs to have similar tips, and I think that was like one of the reasons why they didn't do a lot on here, because they're like, you could access all of this, and that's why we're here. Okay, top 10 tips for eating out. That's really good. Okay, so let me just find that page that I'm trying to find her. So it's the end of that book. They just combined it. That's why. It should have been separate. Hope it's not making you guys dizzy. It's making me a little dizzy. I'm getting hungry. Feels weird not to work out on a Saturday.
I know, especially for you, because you've been on a roll.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what's going on? Okay, so in Insanity Max 30 on page, what page did it land on? Page 90 on the nutrition guide. 90, yeah. It has a sample meal plan. I believe they match up. Let me see. Plan B and Plan A. This one, because it's like all cardio, they only really gave you a Plan A and Plan B. So some of the programs are like that because they tend to be only cardio. When you lift, it's a little bit different. Like you need to eat more because of what you're repairing your muscle, and you're really like tearing that down. So if you don't eat enough, it actually will have the opposite effect. So I'm just checking. Looks like it's the same. Yep. Okay, so the Plan A, Plan B follow Plan A and Plan B and Liift4. So it gives you a very simple sample of how your snack should be like. So it just doesn't have it like you could have your snack between like breakfast and lunch, but that's pretty simple. And then it tells you where the recipes are at, so that's good. And then Plan B as well. So it gives you a really good example for that one. So those are kind of my go-to programs when I'm trying to figure out my meal plans. To see where I need to go. And if I'm really like, I don't know what to eat at all, there is always the Fixate. And I've actually gotten some recipes off that. I got some chicken tinga on there. It was actually really good. I made it. But since Chu won't cook that, I have to cook it, so I don't do it as often.
What is it?
Fixate.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's a So they have videos on how to make it, and every week they're releasing the release, or I think every week they release stuff. Hey, Christine.
Hey, sorry.
It's okay.
I'll mute myself. Sorry, I was helping someone and I realized it was late.
It's okay. It's good. It's being recorded, so we're all good. So Fixate is a great way to find like recipes. They have videos on, I don't know if it's all of them, but some of them, and almost, I would say they used to release them every week. I don't know if they changed that, but they release videos frequently on new recipes. So if you go under program materials and you go to, is it recipe lists? Let me just, I haven't been on here for a while, so they always are updating, you know. It's like not using your iPhone in like 5 months. It's like all different. So it tells you how to use the guide, but all these are hyperlinks, so you could click. You could click on the recipe, so you don't have to like scroll down. So for example, I'm on like, ooh, for breakfast, I want a frittata. So I'm going to click on that, and it takes me to frittatas. And you could go back and look and see if the video's there. I don't know, but it gives you this example. You could print this page, and it gives you what the containers ratio is around, and then just make sure the stuff that they list out here is on the food list. So, we're gonna go back and talk about the food list too.
Okay.
Recipes. All right. So now that, so you have some, you could go to Shift Shop, has recipes and samples of how to like structure your meal. Insanity Max 30 has it. Fixate has it. Another place to go if you really like more structure with your how you eat is the 80-day obsession, because they have a time nutrition. You don't have to do that, but if you feel like you need more structure and like when to eat and what to eat at certain times, that would be another program to go to. But I won't go into that one. But those are just kind of my recommendations. So that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of looking, because I've never eaten that much. Like calorie C is really high for me, or not high, I think I eat that much, but to eat healthy in that much, now I'm just like, how do I do this? So I'm relearning myself. So if we go back to Liift, I don't think I left the tab open on that one. Did I? Yes, I did. Perfect. I don't have to go back. Woohoo! So if we scroll down, we got the food list. And the last thing we'll talk about is the cheat day. So I'll go back to the cheat day. Okay, so your food list is right here. It starts on page 13 in the virtual book, and in your copy, it starts on page 20. So 20, okay. So one thing to note is that, hide that message. Oopsie. Oh no, did I delete them? No. No, it's not. Okay, perfect. So the foods that are higher up on the list are the more, did they do it that? We feel it. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Are the more that are the ones that are higher on the list, sorry. The ones that are higher on the list are the ones that are more nutritionally dense for you. So focus on trying to eat those as much as possible. Also, if you feel like if you're going through this program and you feel like you're not getting results, relook at this list and saying, am I having the thing at the bottom of the list, vegetable broth, as opposed to, spinach or kale? That would really help you kind of, look at your meal plan for the next week and make those adjustments. So let me just scroll up. So you could see strawberries. Hey, our number one. Yeah. Since I work for oranges. Yes, I love oranges. I hate grapefruit, but at least blackberries and raspberries are up on that list too. So I get those for free at work. So I'm pretty excited, saving myself money. So fruits. One of the things I like, I usually love eating bananas, and one banana is actually worth two, but just because it's more convenient for me. But though I love fruit, I don't eat it a lot. So that one's my hard one to get through.
That's my like crazy one. That's like candy for me. I
don't have
love
a
fruit.
sweet. If I have too much fruit, it's hard for me to even drink my Shakeology because I feel like I had too many sugars in one day. I'm like, so much sweet. I'm the opposite. Yeah, this is my list right here: the proteins and the carbs. So remember, higher up on the list, the better for you. You got some egg whites here, which I eat every day. It says large. So if you get 8 eggs and you do the whites, that's 1 serving. What I usually do to save money is I do 1 full egg and I actually buy the liquid whites and do the equivalent to like 4 large eggs. So, and that helps. Okay, looking at my backyard. Carbs, your healthiest carb is always the sweet potato, but also your second healthiest is beans. So thank God I always have beans at home. Lately, I love sweet potatoes, but lately I haven't been able to like really eat a lot of them. So I don't know why. And then, here, these other foods, you want to add, you want to eat those every once in a while. You don't want to eat them as often. But they're still on your list. So they're not like treat meals or anything like that. These are still on your list. Like, for example, like whole wheat pasta, pita bread, corn tortillas. You just want to have them here and there. But you really want to focus on just keeping, heavier on the sweet potatoes and beans. I think quinoa's kind of more up there too, but it's not like all the way up there. But I'll probably do more quinoa and beans.
Like, where do you know in that area, where's your like middle line? Where do you think you should?
I would say, because it kind of goes to the next one.
Right.
I would actually count that. So I think maybe the middle line would be somewhere around here.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think I have to actually count it. I didn't realize it was.
Oh, so you're actually just counting. So it's not like the top 10 or the top 5.
Yeah. I know if it's up, like the top 5 are probably where you want to like eat most of your carbs from or get sourced from. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not coming out right. But you want to focus on eating more of those foods as opposed to the ones down on the other list. Not on the other, down on this list. Okay. And then healthy fats. You got your seed and oils, which those are always hard for me to get in. Your oils and nut butters, which is a teaspoon. And then you have your free foods, which I'm all about because I like garlic. I like vinegars. I like chili peppers. So I go crazy on the jalapenos on all my food. I'm just like, throw it in there. Because I put that. And then Shakeology and shake bases. I just use water. I don't use milk. But if you are going to use like almond milk and stuff like that, it does count as a carb. Low-fat milk, actually unsweetened almond milk counts as 8 ounces counts as a teaspoon of nut butter. So that's really good. They changed that. That used to be a carb, which I think some of the trainers were like, you don't get a lot of calories. How can it be a carb? So I'm glad they spoke up with that because I used to not be able to drink my Shakeology with just water. That was a very recent thing for me. So that counts as a oil and nut butter, which is good because I have a hard time trying to get those in. So I'm just going to grab almond milk. Any questions on that?
No.
And then you get your Shakeology ideas, which I'm going to be going on here since I have to eat a lot more. So I need to make sure that I'm getting my stuff in. And I'll do it via my Shakeology. Okay, so let's go back to the treat day. Okay, so as you know, this program, because we're going to be working like really hard for 4 days, we're going to be earning our rest days and also be earning our treat meal. One of the recommendations is don't go too crazy, don't binge, still have your shake in the morning to help you, which it really does. I mean, well, you guys know me and you guys know that it's hard for me to not binge, but I'm trying to be better at that. But when I do have my shake in the morning, I just feel that my digestive system is better. When I don't have it, I feel the difference. I feel bloated right away. I'm super uncomfortable. I go to bed like crazy uncomfortable. Even the next morning I feel bad. But when I have my shake, those symptoms really minimize. So if you don't want the treat meal, that's totally fine. You don't have to, but just know that it's there in case you need it. And I think that helps personally me it helps me like, what is it, mentally, because usually when I'm doing any new program, I'm going to give it 100%. So right before I go into that program, I totally pig out and binge. And I notice I haven't even been doing that with this program. I haven't been like crazy strict with my food, but I haven't been like, I'm going to eat an entire, an entire cake or an entire pizza, or have pizza and burgers and fries in the same night, which I did one night, which was really bad. It hurt my stomach.
Oh.
So, don't overdo it. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. And it's preferably to do these on Wednesdays and or Sundays. Or Sunday. Because you want to do it the day before you work out, so that your body's going to be using those, because you're working out, your body burns up that extra calories that you are doing. Also, still, even though it's a treat day, still limit your sugary drinks, and if you're going to be consuming alcohol, make sure you stop after 1 or 2 drinks. The hangover really inhibits your performance the next day. So, and actually alcohol does blow you. True story. And then, when you go out to restaurants, just be mindful that you don't have to finish your plate. They do give you large portions, so feel free to share or get something healthy that you could eat the next day, or just don't eat the rest of it. So those are the tips with that. And for me, like, to have the cheat day or treat day is great, but that is going to be my struggle, because it's hard for me to control myself once you let the fat girl Erica out. She's like, I want to eat. Any other questions on this part? And I'll stop sharing. I'll just give you some of the stuff that I usually buy, and maybe Christine, you could chime in and talk about what you usually. Oh no! Okay, you usually. How do I stop sharing? Like, went away.
It's on the bottom.
Oh, it's not on my screen though. Oh wait, there it is.
Yeah.
It just came back. So you guys see it, but I don't see it. Hold on. I did something and it like totally.
Go to,
Oh, there it is. Okay. It came back up. I don't know why. It was always there and it went away. I accidentally clicked on something. So what I usually do, like, for example, I know I eat like the same stuff over. So what I usually do is I buy a bunch of spinach, like baby spinach. I'll buy onions. I love onions and everything, jalapenos. I buy the bagged broccoli, the broccoli florets. What else do I get? I get zucchini, because these are like my main like food groups. I get zucchini. I get baby carrots. I get ground turkey. And I usually already have like brown rice, quinoa, or beans at home. And what I'll do is make beans, and I won't make too much. I'll cook all the turkey. I'll chop up any vegetables if I need to, and then that way I could like for in the morning just make my eggs really quick. Add the spinach and onion. Then at lunch I'll do like ground turkey with zucchini and black beans. And then dinner, and like my snacks are usually my Shakeology and fruits. I usually save those for snacks. And then dinner, like I actually write down what I want for dinner and I buy those specific items. So I will actually be looking for dinner recipes, but at least like my lunch and my breakfast are set, and I do the combination of those. Other things that I've done too is with the quinoa, I've gotten turkey, I've gotten quinoa, I've gotten broccoli, and I put it in a bowl and I put like Greek dressing on it and I heat it up, and it's like this really yummy, like healthy pasta salad. I've also done it with pasta too, whole wheat pasta, and that was really good. That's what I did with 80 Day Obsession. I had that like almost every day for dinner. It was like my favorite thing to eat. Also, another thing to buy, which I've been recently doing, is buying the frozen cauliflower rice, which saves so much time. You could just eat it like that. I don't like it like that. Christine actually gave me a really good recipe that I'll share. It's the coconut lime one. And at first I thought it was really hard, but coconut lime, cilantro, cauliflower rice. You're on mute, Christine. So.
It sounded like you said coconut wine.
Oh, I probably did say that. We can share that recipe with you.
It's lime.
Yeah, coconut, lime, cilantro. It's a pretty easy recipe to make, and if you buy your cauliflower frozen, it makes it way easier. So
right.
Yeah. So my recommendation is always write down what you're gonna eat, make the list, and go grocery shopping with that, because what will happen is fruits and vegetables go bad right away, and if you just buy a bunch of fruits and vegetables and don't have a plan, they're gonna go bad because you're not gonna go through them fast enough. So just wise tips. And you're gonna notice that there's some, like, for example, I like cucumber, but I don't eat it. I don't buy it anymore because I was noticing I wasn't eating it and I was just wasting it. So unless the recipe specifically calls for it, I don't buy it. And you'll get into the groove, what you could almost eat every day. So like I could have broccoli and spinach and zucchini every day. Those are like my 3 vegetables that I have every day. And I know that I like them and I'll eat them, and I could have them in different ways. Because the spinach you could put in your Shakeology, you could put in your eggs, you could saute them with the turkey. You could have it as a salad. It's very versatile. So I pick things that are super versatile because I don't like cooking. Any tips, Christine, that you would like to give?
I think that you touched on a lot of them. I am a creature of habit. I don't eat anything different. I pretty much will eat, when I do a program, eat the same thing all the time. It's just easier for me because I have to pack our meals. I work from home a lot, so I pack my meal as if I'm going to an office. So I still do the meal prep, and like Erica said, I just really want to encourage you to, that's not fair, I'm talking. I want to really just encourage you to make sure that you do plan your meals out, that you write them out. I know that when you first get started, it feels like it's a lot of work, but after you have been doing it, it gets easier. It gets so much easier. And my biggest challenge is that I'm a snacker. I will skip meals and go and snack around and find things to eat. So I find that by prepping my meals, having my meal plan written out, I stick to it a lot better. And I start to see the results. So when I stop seeing my results, or I start to gain some weight, I know it's because I'm not planning things out. So I think that's the biggest tip for me, is that even if you think you have it down, to continue it, because it's so easy to slide backwards, like fast.
Yeah, I like that you touched on that. One thing I forgot to mention is I am a snacker too. And so what I did within the last program is I would set alarms on my phone when I had to eat, and that helped me only eat at those times. So now this program isn't time nutrition, but if you need that structure to help you be successful, do it. Set your alarm for eating every 2 to 3 hours, because that really helps you not snack. Because I would notice, like, within the past weeks, like, yes, I've been eating healthy and I've been snacking on healthy food, but I haven't, I'm seeing like I'm losing muscle, right? And so because I'm just snacking a little too much, and then like I'll sit down at the end of the day, I was like, what did I eat? Oh my God, I ate so much. Even though it's healthy food, I'm eating, and I'm not snacking on like veggies. I'm snacking on like cheese slices and whole wheat bread. And I'm snacking on like the healthy but high calorie stuff like nuts and all that. So yeah, my recommendation is put that time down, and if you're hungry between those times, just drink a lot of water, green tea. And then you'll start seeing the difference right away. That really helps. And also one thing on prepping your food, you know, it may be easier to cook everything at once or cook a few things, but it saves you so much time. It may seem a lot like on the weekend. You could even divide it, go shopping on a Saturday and start prepping Sunday morning. But you save so much time during the week. Like if you have a busy schedule, like I am always busy and sometimes get home late, and it's so convenient to come home and just heat up my food, because I took an hour or two during the week to prep my food. So that saves you a lot of time, because if you're doing an hour, 30 minutes a day to prep your food over 5 days, that's more than 2 to 3 hours. So it helps.
Yeah.
It saves you a lot.
The other thing that I do too is with my onions and bell peppers, I chop those all up and put them in the fridge or the freezer. So all you have to do is pull out a little chunk and throw it into your food, and it just melts so quickly and just makes that one less thing you have to do. And it's still pretty fresh. I've been doing that for a long time. Every weekend I just chop up a big onion and a few bell peppers and put them in baggies and stick them in the freezer. And it's worked great.
Okay.
That's good. Any questions, Gilda?
No, I think, as you know, the one thing that's always challenging for me is eating.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I was going to say, when you're done, I can touch on that, because that is my biggest struggle.
yeah, I don't eat enough. There's a lot of times where I'm not hungry, or I'm so busy at work that I as silly as it sounds, I forget to eat. But yeah, that's what I struggle with, is eating. I can do the prepping, but I can prep and then I won't eat. So I know setting my alarm, or like you mentioned, Erica, setting an alarm will help, but it's just stopping what I'm doing and going, because there's always people interacting with me. So sometimes I can't just drop what I'm doing and go, say heat up my food or grab my snack. So that's what's been challenging for me.
Yeah, I have that same challenge. I have like a huge challenge with that. And what I found that worked for me, and my husband's in the same situation where he's at work and he's got people in front of him, and he can't just say, hey, I gotta go eat my food.
Yeah.
My wife said I have to eat. So what I always say is that, is get the food in. So if, you can't do it right at that moment, set that alarm to remind yourself. So say you have plans to eat at noon, but at noon, things come up. Set that alarm for an hour later or a half hour within the time that you're supposed to eat. So you have a 3-hour window. So try to get it within that 3 hours, each meal, so that you keep constantly remind yourself. So everybody's cleared the room, but you're still working on a project, and you don't think about food. You think you're focused, but that alarm will go off every half hour that you set it, or every hour, and you're like, oh yeah, I got to eat. I was going to do that. And then you can get up and go do that. That's just one of the ways that I started to, even from working from home, I'd get involved in a project, and then all of a sudden I'd be like, oh, where'd the time go? Now my alarm's going off, reminding me I have to get up and eat. So that's just one of the things that I've done in the past to help myself and my husband, so that we stay within that 3-hour window.
That's helped me too, because I've gone like when I was doing 80-day, there was sometimes I would be in long meetings, so I would I would make sure that, like, for those days I would pack something that I could eat cold, so that when the alarm went off, maybe I couldn't eat right away, but when we would get a break or something, I would like eat it.
Right.
I know Gilda, I think she lost connection, but it's being recorded, so that's good.
Yeah.
So I would just do it that way, or get to, sometimes it would be really bad. Like a meeting ran long and I'm like an hour late, and just run to my desk and take like that quick, like 5 minutes to just eat my snack or eat my meal. But what you'll learn is you're going to start getting hungry around those times. Like once you get used to eating these small meals throughout the day, you're going to start getting hungry, and your body's going to remind you, like, your alarm went off an hour ago, and your stomach's going to start growling. So it takes about 2 to 3 weeks. I think it took me for my body to start registering that. So, the alarms totally help, and it helped me get into that habit. And then once I got into that habit, I still kept the alarms because it's easy to fall out, but my body sometimes would start getting hungry before the alarm went off.
Right, right. And that's exactly why you set those alarms when you first get started, and you set them within that 3-hour window, so that it constantly reminds you, so that you're not just going past that 3 hours and then it's 6 hours, and next thing you know, like, oh, I haven't eaten at all today. Yes. So that's why those alarms are really important when you first get started.
Yeah.
I heard the end of that, but my internet went down, but I will watch the video.
Yeah. We like hit snooze on your, like, if you have the alarm and someone's in there, just hit like snooze for another hour, and then it'll go off again when, like, say they leave and you completely forget, and then it like comes back up and you're like, oh shoot, I have to eat. So you don't have to be perfect on the timing, because this isn't about that. It's just about trying to get your meals. And so if you're off because someone's in your office, and we've all had those situations where we couldn't eat at those times, so we just kind of had to push it back a bit, or when we could, and eat that and all that. So it happens, and your body eventually will be like, I'm hungry, and you'll start remembering.
Right. And with this particular workout, you're gonna get hungry. There's no doubt in my mind. And your body's going to, like Erica said, it's going to be like, I'm hungry. You need to eat now.
Okay.
So you will get hungry on this program.
Yeah. Like this week, yesterday was like the first day I was like, oh, I'm really hungry, and it's cumulative, right? So where you've done it, because I did this workout like randomly, like some of the workouts Gilda that we've been doing, because Gilda's been joining me on the live ones.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So, oh no, my dogs have my shoes outside. Oh, Archie.
Go get them.
Let me go get it. Sorry.
So, well, that's great. How have you liked the live workouts?
Oh, I liked it a lot. I was telling, I don't know if I was telling Erica, I was telling somebody that it kind of gives me a sense of, like, even though we're so far, we're doing it together, and it holds me accountable. Like, hey, I can't let them down. I want to work out with them. I treat it like if it was I was going to a class with my girlfriends.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really, really liked it. So I don't know. And the videos were awesome. They were great, 20 minutes, but I know they're a little longer, but the 20 minutes, you really worked out. They're hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're challenging. Yeah. Especially when you haven't, worked out or done weights, even though I'm not lifting really heavy or anything, but still it was challenging for sure. So, but I just like, they were like there with me, even though they're not physically there with me. So
yeah, I mean, does that help with the accountability for you?
For sure. Yeah.
You feel like do you feel like that it's something that you can start doing on your own at some point?
Yeah. I can. I just, knowing myself, I'll find an excuse to an extent, not to not do it, but when I plan to do it, say, because I would like to really do it in the morning, I'll be like, nah, I'll just do it at night, and then I get tired at night, so I don't give it, my full energy, or I'm just exhausted by the time I get home. So I think that's a problem for me.
Yeah. So you feel like doing these lives, with Erica, you have an accountability partner, that you can count on every guys? Do you guys do it every day? How do you do that?
We did it. Well, we just did it this week. It was the first time, so I was doing it. Now it's just going to be close to people that are Liift4ers. But I did a Zoom call, and we shared the monitor. But now that everyone's going to get their programs and all that, so I think what we'll do is, we'll just be working out in the Zoom, but everyone's going to be doing off their own one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because that's what I used to do with Leia, Gilda.
What?
We used to FaceTime each other, and she was
FaceTime. Okay.
Yeah, she was doing a completely different program, but we would do it at the same time. So I would text her and be like, "Okay, get up," and she's like, "Okay, give me 5 minutes." I was like, "Don't worry, I'm going to go poop." And
Yeah.
FaceTime, and she was doing her workout, and I was doing my workout, but we were doing it around the same time. And sometimes she would like lag a little, 5 to 10 minutes. And like I said, it helped me because I tend to lollygag, and it was like, no, I have to be on at 5:30 because I said that I would, and it actually helps me be productive in the morning. So that helps me. So we could start doing them, the days that we work, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, not Wednesday, sorry, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I was going to say Saturdays. Wait. And there are, just every week, let everyone know like where I'm at for that week, because I know like there's one weekend where I have to do all 4 days in a row because I'm going to be gone for 3 days. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't mind doing that because I'm going to be working out anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It felt like you were there just right along with me, and I felt it like a form of support and the accountability, because I didn't want to flake. And so yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Well, our time is almost up. This is going to log us off because it's only an hour, so it will log us off after an hour. But yeah, any other questions on the meal planning?
No.
All right.
If they come up once I start, really reading everything, I'll let you know.
Sounds good. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for joining, and I shouldn't say it because they know it's going to be posted. All right.
Okay.
Talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye.